Hey guys, KJ4YZI, HamRadioConcepts. Today, out here at Pelican Island Special Event Station, I figured I picked this up at Orlando Hamcation in February, and I just let it sit there. I haven't messed with it. It's from MFJ. It's the MFJ-1936TWC. Now, I call this the QuickStik. Really, what the 1936 is I'll show you. It's a ground rod with the thing, and you, with a mount, and you can slap a ham stick on there. You can slap a regular antenna on there. This one actually comes with a 17-foot whip and a coil to add 40 meters on here. So we're going to unpack this. I'm going to stick it out there by the water. I got my Go kit here, so I'm going to fire up. I'll probably work right out of the back of my car here because those guys got the tables and stuff. And we'll see if we can make a couple of contacts here sitting right on the back of the car. What more beautiful to be out here in front of the water making contacts. Let's check it out. All right, so they didn't reinvent the wheel. All they pretty much did was put this in a package that's easy. You know, I think of if I don't want to go anywhere and figure out if I have a tree for my end fed, or I live in an HOA and you want to stick something in the ground at night and then pull it up before the sun comes up, this may be for you. So we have a ground rod here. I'm going to take this out. We have a ground rod, and on the ground rod, if I can get this out of here, there's a little bracket here. This is where you're going to attach your counterpoise wire. It comes with 25 feet of counterpoise wire. Okay, there's a mount here, so the mount is going to go on the ground rod here. You pound the ground rod into the ground, and like I said, over here we have a coil here that you could add for additional range, I guess, for 40 meters. All right, there's the coil. So this is like on the top of my high gain here. When you put this on, you're adding additional length to the antenna, and then you just use the jumper here and you tap it at different spots here to, tune it where you need to on the lower bands. So we'll try that. Like I said, here is the ground rod itself. This should come out this way. Yes, it does. All right. So back up a little bit. So this is going to go in the ground. And then the mount, here's the mount. This is like a regular, you've seen these mounts before. It looks like a window mount, right? So it's got a 3/8 by 24 inch stud on top. And I could put that on here. I guess I could figure out how to rotate this on here. And away I go. All right, so here's what I got. I have this pounded right in the copper ground rod, pounded right into the sand, about 1.5 feet. I have my little counterpoise wire on there, and I have the counterpoise wire down the rocks and into the water, using the salt water here as a counterpoise. I have the mount on there like this. I don't have it super tight, but you can. It's got lock washers and stuff. And then I got the 17-foot whip. Look at this thing. That's way up there, and that's without the coil. I want to see where my analyzer says it's resonant with this thing, just the way it is. So this is what I'm looking at, right around 14.219, 1-to-1, roughly. Well, see, this analyzer's going wonky. Rick, this thing's going wonky,
it's
buddy.
Not mine, bro.
Yeah.
Wonder if Richard's got his good one in his car, because that one.
You gotta like,
ass.
yeah, you gotta like. Here we go. See. Okay, so see, I'm like. Yeah. 1.0 at 14 right in the CW portion right there. And all I really did, see, so right at the beginning of the general portion, 1.1 right there. So all I really did was I just shrunk that, I pushed the telescopic in like a section and just see where it's resonant. Right now that thing's resonant. It's a little bit shorter than it was. I guess they say on the website you could use a tuner and you could just load this thing up on whatever band, but I'd rather use it where it's resonant without a tuner, right, Rick?
Absolutely.
So that thing right now is 1.1 to 1, no tuner required, and let's see what happens.
Good time, portable, and it sounds like a beautiful area. Tell me about the wildlife rescue.
Right, well, this is the Wildlife Refuge, the first national wildlife refuge dedicated by Teddy Roosevelt 116 years ago. The Pelican Island is a home of the rare white pelican and some other birds, and feathered friends here. So in the Indian River Lagoon, and we commemorate that every year. We've been doing this for 5 years now here with the local club W4OT, and they have some other events here in Vero Beach to commemorate that. So definitely a good notoriety for the Pelican Island special event. Over.
Well, I definitely understand and appreciate what's being done. We have the Balcones Canyonland Preserve nearby where my QTH is still an important asset. I appreciate what you're doing. It's a good thing. This is Whiskey 1 Bravo X-Ray Papa in Central Texas.
Thank you very much for that. And 7-3.
Whiskey Alpha 3 Julian Alpha Whiskey WA3JAW.
I got it that time. Whiskey Alpha 3, Julia Alpha Whiskey. You're about a 5-3-5-5 here into Vero Beach, Florida, the Pelican Island Special Event Station, commemorating the first wildlife refuge dedicated by Teddy Roosevelt 116 years ago. Whiskey 4 Oscar Tango is the club call, and you're about a 5x4, 5x3. Over.
QSL, I've got you 7x9, 7x9, coming in northwestern Pennsylvania.
Okay, Roger. That time you're about a 5.7, so a little bit more. We're just using a MFJ vertical antenna here, a QuickStik, stuck right in the ground. I'm about 10 feet from the water and doing good. So we're portable here. I'm running out of the back of my vehicle in the shade, and it's a spectacular day. Over.
QSL, copy the portable out of the back of the vehicle. I'm sitting in a local park here running a Nikon 718 100 watt with a chameleon antenna. Over.
All right, Roger on the chameleon. Well, it's doing good. You're up there right now. I can hear you a lot better than when you first started. So thank you for that, and I'll see if I can get a few more contacts here. Whiskey Alpha 3 Julia Alpha Whiskey, 7-3 from Whiskey 4 Oscar Tango, QRZ. Hello, CQ, CQ, CQ. Whiskey 4 Oscar Tango, W4OT, calling CQ, CQ. Special event station in Florida. Whiskey 4 Oscar Tango, calling CQ.
Whiskey 4 Oscar Tango, here is Whiskey 5 Delta Alpha Delta. Whiskey 5 Delta Alpha Delta.
Okay, Whiskey 5 Delta Alpha Delta. I'll give you a signal on the next go-round. This is Whiskey 4 Oscar Tango, Pelican Island Special Event Station here in Florida. I'm about 5 feet from the water, and we are commemorating the 116th anniversary of the first wildlife refuge in the United States, dedicated by Teddy Roosevelt. Over.
All right, very good. Nice signal into north central Texas. You're 5-9 plus. And my name is Newt November Echo Whiskey Tango. And, excuse me, frog in my throat this morning. Hope you're having a anyway, back to you, Whisker.
Okay, I got covered up at the end there. Whiskey 5 Delta Alpha Delta. Yeah, you were a 5.7, peaking at a 5.9 here into Florida. I'm using an ICOM 706 out of the back of my vehicle right here on the water with a MFJ QuickStik stuck in the ground, and the counterpoise is laying in the river. So thanks for the signal report, Newt, and 7-3 from Whiskey 4 Oscar Tango. 7-3.
7-3 from 75 to 80.
This is Whiskey 4 Oscar Tango, W4OT, Pelican Island Special Event Station in Florida, calling CQ on 20.
Victor Echo 3, X-ray, Yankee, Yankee.
Victor Echo 3, X-ray, X-ray, Yankee. Roger?
Close, X-ray, XYY, X-ray, yellow, Yankee.
I had one letter off. Okay, Victor Echo 3, X-ray, Yankee, Yankee. This is Whiskey 4 Oscar Tango. I'll have to look and give you another signal on the next go-round. We are in Vero Beach, Florida, celebrating the Pelican Island special event, 116th commemorative anniversary of the first wildlife refuge. Over.
You're 10 over up here into Toronto, Roger.
QRZ from Whiskey 4 Oscar Tango, Pelican Island Special Event Station. QRZ? November 0 Kilo Quebec Romeo. Roger? Okay, I got a little bit of noise on this end from generators and other stations. I'll see if I can give you a report on the next go-round. This is Whiskey 4 Oscar Tango. Hello, CQ, CQ, CQ20. Whiskey 4 Oscar Tango, special event station calling CQ.
Kilo 5 Oscar Yankee.
Kilo 5 Oscar Yankee. Whiskey 4 Oscar Tango, Pelican Island special event station here in Florida. Over.
Kilo 12, thank you for coming back to me. You're coming in at about a 5x5 into northwest Arkansas, 5-5 in northwest
What happened? He's
Arkansas.
going
Stay here and see. Sierra Tango, Echo Victor, Echo.
All right, very good. Let's see. I got Kilo 5 Oscar Yankee 5x5 into Arkansas. Let me get your signal report here. I didn't look at the meter. Over.
Kilo 12, and you actually went up to about a 5.7, so let's put it in there at 5.7 if I don't make them too long. Yeah, you're sounding good. Hope you're having fun today.
Yeah, you're 5.7 peaking at 5.9. Yeah, I'm working out of the back of my vehicle here. Got a solar panel, a battery, and about 400 miles of river that just looks spectacular. And actually, there are dolphins feeding right out in front of me. So I'm watching dolphins feed right off about 10 feet from my antenna. Over. All right, so far I've knocked out about 9 or 10 contacts on this little thing. We did have a couple dolphin out here feeding. That was pretty cool. So I'm getting 5.9++ into Canada, Arkansas, Texas. The thing is working.
Listen, after hurricane.
So yeah, I'm impressed with it so far. Jan has, oh, there goes the feeding again. See if we can get that on camera. There's some dolphin feeding and the Pelican's trying to get the leftovers. See if we can get the dolphin. There he is. Ooh, feeding it. Porpoise. Anyways, let's see what Jan's got something going over here now. Jan wants to set me up on this. So we're gonna see how this works here. I'll have to, you've seen this at Field Day a couple years ago. Look at his shirt. All right, so I got my solar panel laying up here. If we can see that, let's see. Yeah, got that with the pollen and everything. Got the solar panel there, all right? And that's with my little temporary setup here. I didn't know I was working out of the back of my vehicle. Got my laptop up. I got my little solar charger, so that's keeping my Bioenno charged up. Bioenno's running the, I got my power poles on here that I crimped on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to make a platform and copy Dwayne's setup with his Jeep. I'm gonna make a platform and this thing's gonna just slide out with a couple legs on it. Right, Rick?
Yep.
And I'll have a table come out real quick here, and that way I can work, you know, pulled up to the water in the shade and not have to sit in the back of my vehicle here. That's probably what I'm going to do, and that way I'll get rid of all my junk here, or keep junk in, whatever I want to do. But so far the ICOM 706 at 100 watts with my little MFJ antenna is doing pretty good. I gotta say. We're going to see what Jan wants to set up here, and we'll get a comparison.
Here also, a solid S9 on the meter. Sounded very good. I'll let you get back to get on with your special event. Thank you very much for the contact, and we'll talk to you later. W4OT, W8BFT.
Okay, so here's an update. I've been smashing out some contacts here. Let's see if I can see this on camera. There it is. I have about 30 contacts so far, and that's with same setup here. I am very impressed so far with this antenna. Now, it is just a piece of metal. They did not reinvent the wheel. They didn't manufacture anything that's special. It just so happens that it's working. It is a decent working antenna, and I think the water does have some sort of, you know, advantage for those who are out in the middle of nowhere. The water, with me sticked in there in the water, is an advantage. Jan has, what do we got over there, Jan?
The N6BT.
N6BT antenna.
Vertical. You've seen that before 2 years ago at the ARRL Field Day.
Right.
We had that up. We're having a shootout here.
We're having a shootout because we tried to, he's got it tuned right up. We are not using a tuner, okay? We are just trying to keep, they're both resonant, but for some reason, I have a little better luck on this little stick here. And I'm not saying that antenna is bad. I'm just saying maybe it radiates, he says it radiates, what, very low, right?
Yeah, we believe right here on the water we have a lower radiation angle from the half-wave vertical than we do the quarter-wave vertical. But we're going to continue on here. Good thing the ARRL turned the bands on this weekend, huh, Eric? Otherwise, they'd be dead.
Say it again, Jan.
Okay, it's a good thing the ARRL turned the bands on this weekend. Otherwise, we all know they'd be dead.
Exactly.
I mean, I spoke to Moscow last Friday night after the gray line. Last night at night on 17 meters, worked Buenos Aires, South America. But yeah, the bands are dead supposedly. I guess just not at my house.
Exactly. Not in the back of my Cadillac here with a soda can and a battery. So far, my solar panel is doing well. I've been transmitting on this thing all day. It's about 1:30. I'm still at 13 volts. It is trickle charging that battery quite well. I know it's a mess back here, but this was a very quick setup. But hey, it works. So what we're going to do is we're going to put, real quick, this coil comes with this antenna, and I haven't used it yet. This is to add 40 meters to that antenna. I want to see if it's resonant or where it's resonant, because the thing is, I did not pull this all the way out to 17 feet and use a tuner. What I did was I used an analyzer, okay? And I pushed it in a couple feet here to make it resonant on 20. So a 17-foot whip, it's about 15 feet right now, but I do not want to use a tuner to mask the radio and pretend I say this till I'm blue in the face. There's no sense of using a tuner. You just slide it down, you look on your analyzer, longer or shorter, and you make it resonant. Just like Jan did over here, he made that antenna resonant on 20 meters. There's no tricks here. There's no garbage that a tuner is going to tune my antenna. We're just matching it with a tuner. So in this situation, I'm not using a tuner. Go ahead, Jan.
Can I ask you a question? Do I need a pickup truck, or that thing collapses down and fits in the saddlebag of my motorcycle?
Well, yeah, it doesn't fit in my Go Kit, but the thing is, it does collapse down. This is the length of it right here. So about, what, 18 inches.
Yep,
unscrews.
Yep.
Then it unscrews and you take the mount off, and then you unscrew your wire here. See, the Counterpoise wire is going out into the water. It's laying in the water. Actually, I didn't know he put it in the water. It's a fishing line right now. Let's check it out. There it is. Let's see.
We catch anything, Eric?
Yeah, is there any bait on the end of it, Jan?
No, I didn't.
So yeah, it does collapse pretty good. It won't fit in my Go Kit, so I think when I go maritime mobile on my jet ski, I could probably just put it on the floorboard. I also have Tim Ortiz little QRP stealth antennas. But here's the thing, again, let's say you don't have a tree. We have trees here, all right? I could throw my end fed up there. I have an end fed in my bag. I could throw it up there. But let's say you don't have a tree, or let's say you are in your backyard. You want to stick this thing up at night on 40 because you're in an HOA. I think it's a really practical idea. They basically got a ground rod and their mount and a little telescopic, and they put it together in a package. So it's nothing impressive, but the fact is, when you're spending thousands of dollars on radios and you don't have an antenna that's resonant, you're doing yourself no good. I'm using a cheap radio with a cheap antenna, and I'm having contacts pouring in, no problem. So it just so happens this one works pretty well.
Let's get the 40-meter coil.
Let's do it. All right, so we have the coil on there. You can see there, we have it tapped all the way in the bottom, so we'll start there and see where it looks to be resonant, and then we'll go up and down or whatever we have to do. Whiskey 4 Oscar Tango, CQ40, W40T, Pelican Island Special Event Station. Whiskey 4 Oscar Tango, standing by. Portable, Kilo November 4 again. I have Kilo November 4 Golf Uniform Sierra, Roger. All right, so a little noisy on 40. I did end up making 2 contacts. I got them in the log, very hard to hear. I got generators and stuff. I'm guessing I have some noise on 40, but I did make a couple of contacts. So we used the analyzer, me and Jan, and I do have the coil tapped here for 7.150 on 40 meters. Now your results may vary here, but start at the bottom and it's gonna make it too long. And then as you go up, it's going to shorten the antenna and bring the resonant point where you need it on 40 meters. But so far, definitely, I got to use this thing out here and make about 30 contacts. I'm happy with it. It's hard during a special event station to try to get the camera and everything. I have them all logged on there. It's It's not magic or snake oil. I worked about 30 stations on here. I was getting 5.9 plus pluses from Canada and Arkansas and Colorado and California. No DX at the moment, but I can imagine on a field day or something, this thing will just be impressive. So thanks for watching, guys. 7-3.